www.woca.com. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Nice looking Thursday morning. Broersma is in the studio. He used to be here all the time talking about things over at Ocala Aviation. He's going to do that again today, but it's a rare visit. I think we see Brad now on Christmas parades, right, Robin?
Yeah, we do. It's a beautiful family, gorgeous wife,
Brad
children.
is the general manager of Ocala Aviation, and if you were listening to the Veterans show just a little while ago, that you heard some special offers and opportunities for veterans to get their pilot's license. So Brad is going to expand upon that a little bit. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
I am doing well, thank you. How about you?
You know, Robin asked me a question, and I said, I make this mistake all the time with you.
Okay.
I say you're a pilot. Am I wrong about that?
Well, no, I am.
You are a pilot.
I'm not a flight instructor. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to fly for fun, let alone work. Running the place takes enough of me that it's difficult.
So you manage the aviation school?
I run the whole thing.
The whole thing. And did I just make a mistake right there? It's more than a school, right? Or is Ocala Aviation just a school?
What else would it be?
Okay, I hope that doesn't sound like a dumb question. After knowing you all these years, I really didn't know.
I mean, we're a flight school. We also do aircraft rental, and actually now we've recently taken over the maintenance shop for the entire airport.
So it is
also.
a little bit
so
more.
it is now more, but yeah, it's generally.
It is primarily learning how to fly.
Yeah. We don't do charters or anything like that. No.
Okay. Well, I hope it didn't sound like an unusual question.
No, not at all.
I'm guessing you get every call under the sun.
I do. Yes.
Yeah. People thinking you do this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
But so we don't have any flights out of Ocala like to Orlando. We don't have them.
No. There's no commercial flights or scheduled flights rather. There's no scheduled flights and there's no charters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's just, you have the flight school and then you have privately owned planes and you have a lot of corporate planes out there. Quite a bit of corporate stuff.
But people can still come to you for those discovery flights?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, we still do those.
So we focused on, in the last segment, the veterans opportunities. And tell us about that again for those watching this video or listening to this broadcast.
We have been approved through the VA for a couple of years to offer flight training. In the last year or so, we've become affiliated with Liberty University. And what they have done is they've developed a program for veterans where they can come in, they can get in contact with them, use their GI Bill, their post 9/11, their yellow ribbon, and actually go to them either at the university or they can do it online so they can stay in town. They can get their bachelor's of aeronautics and they can do all of their flight training. Which makes them, like I said, more marketable. They can go out and they can actually get a job. And with a 2.5-year bachelor's degree program with a commercial multi in that, it gives them a lot more opportunity to do things. A lot of people, like if they just came to me just for flight training, which they can do if they don't want to do their bachelor's, they can just come to me. But there's very limited how much money they can get, what they can do. Through the university, they're going to help them get a lot more stuff than what I can do, and they get that bachelor's degree.
And that would lead to jobs with airlines and things like that?
Exactly. Well, depending on what they want to do. Some want to go to airlines, some want to do the corporate thing. Not all airlines require bachelor's, but you definitely move farther along if you have good training and you have that bachelor's degree. It does help for a lot of people, depending on what you want to do. And being a veteran. So, if you had a veteran, a commercial multi, and a bachelor's degree,
okay, so excuse any question that sounds dumb, but it's coming from me. It's coming from me, so it's okay. So does that mean, for the veteran listening, does he have to have been in some way involved with flight in service? Or so he doesn't have to be from the Air Force or anything?
No, it doesn't matter. As long if they're a veteran, they can do it. And if they have prior schooling like they asked, yes, you can transfer schooling in. If you have prior flight time, if you've got a private already or an instrument, the Liberty will actually give you credit, credits towards those flight training hours towards your bachelor's degree.
Is age a factor?
No.
Oh, age isn't a factor?
No, age is not a factor at all.
What about, I drive a car, can you apply that?
Probably not.
No. I know how to start it.
Start the car or a plane?
The car.
Oh, no, it's completely different.
I did do a discovery flight,
Yes,
and I think I operated the brake pedals very poorly, but I think I did this.
Mm-hmm. Rudder pedals, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Yes. And that's one of the big reasons of why I wanted to talk today, because it's not just for the veterans, but it's for everybody. Liberty is offering this program for anybody, for kids. When I say kids, kids coming out of high school wanting to go. And I have been talking to so many people lately where it's kind of changed my focus of what I want to do, like as the manager of the school, as a resident of Ocala, of Marion County, because I have got people that I have spoken to recently that, just to give you an idea, to get your commercial license with a multi, it's going to sound like a lot of money, but I promise it's not. It runs about $45,000. I have talked to kids that went down to other schools and have paid $100,000 to do $100,000 to do the same thing they can do here for $45,000. Wow. And it got me just kind of angry, because they're taking advantage of these kids.
Yeah.
Well, with this Liberty thing, for about the same amount of money as they spent at another flight school, they could get all of the training and a bachelor's degree.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can do all of it instead of just, and that's what I mean. I'm talking to these kids and
so
over
the bachelor's
100,000.
degree is not just for flying, then. You could use that in other occupations as well.
Absolutely. Okay. But what I'm saying is this kid went down to a school, it was $105,000 for just a commercial multi.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
No bachelor's degree, no anything, just a commercial multi.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I can have a kid come in here and for about the same, maybe a little bit less, can actually come in and get a commercial multi and a bachelor's degree.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so, these kids are going and getting this training, and then there's not much they can do with it. So then they still have to do more and have to do more. And so I'm trying to get the word out that there's options out there for these kids to be able to do this. There's some schools, universities, I won't mention them, that are good, but they're very, very expensive. Mm-hmm. There's one in Florida that's about $250,000.
Oh.
And that's not including living expenses.
My goodness!
Because you have to move to this town.
Gosh, how much does the job at the end of the whole training? How much does the job typically pay per year? How much does?
That's a loaded question. It depends on what they want to do. When you first graduate, you're not going to make much money.
Because isn't that why you take the courses you take in school, and you always say, "Oh gosh, it's going to cost me $250,000. Mm-hmm. It's going to take me 10 years to pay that back,
at least,
or maybe 5 years.
15.
5 years."
Mm-hmm. No, 15 usually,
15, wow. So it doesn't pay.
When you get out of aviation, and the thing that it is when you get your commercial multi in aviation, when you have your bachelor's degree, it doesn't matter if you pay $250,000 or you pay $100,000 or $45,000, you come out with the same license as everybody else.
Oh.
It's the same looking card. Mm-hmm. It's if you went to Ocala and went to the DMV and got a license, or if you went to Orlando to the DMV, it's the same license. It's the same thing when you're in aviation. It doesn't say where you went to school. It doesn't say how much you paid. Mm-hmm. Everybody's in that same spot when you go to get that job or when you go to do something.
So just so that we can help them, we need to get the word to the veterans specifically, and to any young person who wants to be a pilot in a broader sense. Mm-hmm. So what do we need to do to reach them? You came on the Veterans Show. That's part one.
Well,
we need them to help us spread the word too.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and Dan just sent me a message. Dan's very good at letting me know when I forget things, because I'm in aviation. I don't think to explain things. So when I'm saying commercial multi, I need to explain what that is. When you are in flight training, there's stages that you go through. You start with the private, which means you can fly for fun, fly just friends and family. You go into instrument, and then you go into commercial. Commercial means you can get paid to fly. Mm-hmm. Commercial multi means that you can now also fly a multi-engine aircraft, which makes you obviously more marketable, able to get a job. So that's what I failed to mention that part. That's what that means.
Okay.
Just because you get a commercial license does not mean airline job. It means you can get paid. Mm-hmm. And then it's from there where you go. Whether you become a flight instructor and build up your hours to become a better pilot, to be more marketable, be able to find a job, whether you go out and just pay to fly, and then you work from there. Because you were asking how much it costs, and it's like, or how much you get paid. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a flight instructor, if you want to go corporate, if you want to go airlines, it's just like with any other job. It starts low, and you can work your way up.
Is the fact that you may have had some experience, like maybe in the Air Force, if you were flying previously, does that help at all? And does that influence the eventual employer? Does he say, okay, this guy's got his bachelor's degree, he's got his multi-level degree, and he also flew in the Air Force? Would United Airlines say, this is my perfect candidate?
Honestly, I can't tell you that
You
because
don't
I
know?
don't know. They don't just base it on what
Okay.
your piece of paper says.
Hold on, we'll take a little break.
Yep.
We'll be right back. If you have any questions of your own, we would love for you to call in. The number is 622-9622. Brad Broersma here from Ocala Aviation, encouraging all of us to go get our pilot's license. I'm signing up. I think I'd be good at this, Robin.
thought you would
I think I can stop a car.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, partly sunny with an afternoon thunderstorm in places, the high 89 to 93. And clear to partly cloudy Thursday nights, and overnight low of 72 to 76. On Friday, times of clouds and sun. Watch out for an afternoon thunderstorm, high 91 to 95. Saturday, partly sunny with a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
The sound of the bat cracking, the crowd cheering, the smell of overpriced but tasty hot dogs, the memories that will last a lifetime of your first baseball game with little Johnny. Your team wins. It was a great night until you get home. It's 9 p.m. and your wife says you have no water.
We have no water.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Rule number 1, don't panic. Remain calm. Okay, that's 2 rules.
We don't have time for jokes, funny man.
Okay, think back. On the way home, you heard a radio commercial.
Mike's got plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Eureka! You saved the day. You remembered that Mike Scott Plumbing doesn't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. You are a genius.
Hey, Mr. Genius, did you remember the phone number?
Of course you did. Remember, you're a genius. 352-237-2888. Because at Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Even if water's not running through it at this particular moment. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Workers who listened to nature sounds performed better on tough cognitive tests than those who did the tasks in silence. Spices like curry and red pepper especially contain compounds that rev up your metabolism, and at bedtime, that not only makes it harder to fall asleep, it also increases the risk of having vivid, disturbing dreams. If you're having trouble getting things done and reaching your goals, it could be down to the way you speak to yourself.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. 85 degrees, by the way, here at the Paddock Mall. Thank you for tuning in. Brad Broersma is here from Ocala Aviation. If you have a question during the course of this interview with Brad, you're welcome to call in. The number is 622-9622. Brad is giving us information and you information on what you would need to know if you wanted to make being a pilot a job. And there's all kinds of jobs. It's not just what I would think of, which would be, I guess, airlines. Like it's all kinds. Me even flying for UPS, right? Or some of those
cargo. You can be a flight instructor. You can do puddle jumping. You can do
puddle jumping. I like that one. That sounds fun.
The islands. I've got people. They never want to fly a big airplane. They want to fly a little plane in the islands. Mm-hmm. That's fine. That's there's options out there. Anything that a plane does, you have an option for a job.
Mm-hmm. And are they plentiful? Are there lots of jobs?
Right now, as the years go on, there's a need for pilots greatly. They figure by 2025 they're going to have a $250,000 or not $250,000. Try that again.
Yeah.
They're going to need, I think it was 225,000 pilots. Is the need.
Oh, wow. Wow. So there's a big need.
There's a huge need for it. You have ones retiring, not as many people getting into it. You have a lot more internationals getting into flight training than you do local. And so they're talking about, I think it was, just to give you an idea, because it's the one that sticks in my head, just the Asian market, they said by 2025 they're going to have a need for over 96,000 pilots.
Wow. So when a person goes through your course at Ocala Aviation Flight School, do you also teach them how to do maintenance on their own planes?
No. The maintenance side of aviation is completely different than like what you do in a car. Because it's getting into a lot more training, but you're allowed to do what's called preventative maintenance. And that's things that you learn, but it's only if you own your own plane. Most of our students don't own their own planes.
Okay.
And so, it's best to go to a maintenance shop and have them do it. And you can actually go to schools if you want to be an aviation mechanic to do that. Yeah, it's a lot more stringent than you can't just open your hood and go to work.
Is that right?
You can't do that. Yeah.
Is that right? In the Discovery flight, I think that was part of what we were taken through, is walking around the plane and inspecting everything before you took off.
The pre-flight, yes, exactly.
You know what? I was wondering, during the break, you said something pretty interesting, and it's pretty typical across the board for everything, is that people seem to go to brand names. And you said Embry-Riddle's a brand name, and everybody thinks that because of that big name, that somehow you end up with a better set of credentials. Just repeat what you said off the air, because I think this is important for those listening.
Well, what I was saying is I don't want to just I'm not discarding any of the schools.
Not that it's not good. You're not saying it's not good.
But the way that they look at it is, and I think this is the part you're talking about, when you go for a job flying, it doesn't matter what the piece of paper says. It's how good of a pilot you are. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you said the airline, the people who hire you eventually, whether it's an airline or somebody else, they want to know how good of a pilot you are.
Exactly.
And how do they know that? How do they know?
Well, they test you. You have interviews where they talk to you, and it's not like a normal job interview. They want to find out what kind of person you are, how you handle stress. Then they put you in a simulator, and they test your flying abilities. They don't look at a piece of paper and say, you went here, you went there. They don't look at the schools and all that. They want to know how well you fly. Because, if you come to me and you're a horrible pilot and you go somewhere, you're not going to get a job. If you go to another school that's a big school and you're a horrible pilot, you're not going to get a job. It's all about you and your training and your personality. It's just like with anything. So, it's just like with a college. If you go to this college as opposed to that college, if you're a UF fan or an FSU fan, it doesn't matter which one you go to if you go to a job and you're a horrible person.
Yeah, well, of
you know what I
course,
mean?
of
Or
course,
it's about that training. And so that's why I say, you go where you want to go. Don't go based on the name. Go on what you're going to get out of it.
So right here in Ocala, we have Ocala Aviation. Right here in Ocala, we have a place for somebody who wants to be a pilot to learn how to be a pilot. Dan Martone did this.
Yes.
And is continuing. He's continuing, right?
Yes,
to
exactly.
do whatever you do with the instruments, you said,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
I thought he was picking up the fiddle. No, that's not one of the instruments?
No.
Nah, just kidding.
Flute is one. But
You know what? I do have a question for you, an airplane question. I told you before during the veteran show off the air that my son jumped out of he did the skydiving thing up in Palatka. So the plane that picked him and the people he was with up just came down from another group of people that went flying.
Yes.
Okay. And there was a call over the loudspeaker, Robin might remember this, for hot fuel.
Yeah.
What is hot fuel?
Hot fuel.
Yes.
Did you hear them say that? Hot fuel?
Yes.
We need
I
some
did.
hot fuel? And I didn't see them put anything in there, but I wondered what it was.
Honestly, I have no idea what that means.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know what a hot start is. That means when you're starting the engine when it's hot and you change the way that you start it. But hot fuel, honestly, I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It could be a term that they give.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but one thing I did want to mention was what I was telling you off the air too, was about the high school kids. What Liberty has done now is they don't offer dual enrollment because you have to get approved for every state and all that. But what they offer is what's called early enrollment. So let's say you're a sophomore right now and you say, you know what, I want to do this. I want to get a career in aviation and I want to get my bachelor's degree. What Liberty has done is they have offered where as a junior you can start doing courses, what they call early enrollment. You take one class at a time and get through your general education through your junior and senior year of high school. It roughly comes out to about $200 a month. They give a 75% discount of their fees to high school kids.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So through your junior and high school years, you take one class at a time, okay? So that by the time you graduate high school, you've got enough credits of 2 years of college already.
Oh, excellent.
So then you do that at the same time you can do your flight training. You can do it during the summer, after school, whatever. But then you finish up your training and you finish your last year. So by the time you're 19 years old, you have a bachelor's degree and your commercial multi.
Really? And the commercial multi?
Yes.
In 2 years?
Well, because what you've done is your junior and senior year, you've gone through 2 years of the main 2 years of college already. So they figure, you've kind of taken a little bit slower track, so you still have about another year to finish. So instead of a 2.5 year, it's a 3-year program, but it starts when you're a junior in high school. So that last year, you're finishing all your flight training, you're getting everything done. The way that they've set this program up, it's amazing because you can do this at 19 years old, you're a commercial multi-engine pilot, you're not getting hired yet. Nobody's going to hire you, you're still too young. So that's when you become a flight instructor for a couple of years. You build up your time, and then you can marketable because now you've got a bachelor's degree and you've got plenty of flight time. But I mean, they're offering this, and I mean, you can start it at any time. It's not just for veterans. It's not just, I mean, you can do this at 17. You can start doing early enrollment, but you can have just graduated high school and say, I want to do this. And you can get online with them and you can start doing your training. And by the time you're, by the time you're 21, you can be done.
I have a question, and I don't know that if I'm asking a dumb one again, but there was a story yesterday about the FAA just approving the use of drones in commercial use. Okay. The story said you have to have a pilot's license to actually be the one operating the drone, even though you're not in it. You're on the ground the whole time. So that sounds like another job opportunity. In agricultural purposes, the story we saw was agricultural based because it was from the Southeast AgNet. But I mean, if drones are going to be delivering packages and you need a pilot's license to operate them, even though you're sitting in some warehouse at Amazon, right? Would this be the same thing?
Oh, it would be definitely make it a great job opportunity. And the reason they want you to have a pilot's license is because you have to know all the regulations. You have to know all of that stuff. And so they want to make sure that you do.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because you're going to be, working with other planes in the air and everything. So
do they call you first and tell you that they want to get this, they want to enroll in Liberty University, and they call you and then you set the wheels in motion?
They can call me and then I'll direct them over to Liberty, honestly. That's the nice thing about Liberty University is no matter what these people want to do, whether they're in high school, they just graduated, they're VA, once you get in contact with them, they run with it. They help you every step of the way, which is great. Like I said, they have people just in there waiting to talk to people just for the flight training portion, so they have somebody there to help.
But you are the flight trainer. They're not the flight trainer.
Well, yeah, we are we're what's called a flight training affiliate. Liberty is not here in Ocala. They're still in Virginia, but you do all of your online courses here. We're their affiliate. What they've done is they've made it so your lab for your private pilot's course in college, the lab portion of it is the flight training with us.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. And that's the nice thing, too, is because they've done it, because it's a college course, you can actually use, well, I mean, obviously you can use the VA stuff, but if you're not a veteran, they actually help you use scholarships, grants, Stafford loans, all of that stuff you can actually use for your schooling and your flight training. Because it's all combined.
So how
do
they get the ball rolling? What do they like? I guess Robin just asked that question. Basically, just contact you, and then you can help them get started.
Yep. Or go to my website and click on the Liberty link.
They'll know. What if they're already first year signed up at the college across the street? Can they still be part of this?
Can they transfer their credits?
They can
over?
transfer. They can finish where they're at, and then they can transfer later. They can start their flight training now, and then transfer later. There's so many options out there, and that's why I'm trying to get this word out, is to let them know it's an option. It is there for them. And it can be anybody. But if you're in high school, it'll work. If you're a veteran, it'll work. If you're 20, 30, 40, it'll work.
But the veterans have some special offers, right?
Well, the veterans, the difference with them is that because they can use their benefits for this, which is a huge advantage for them. And they deserve to be able to use it.
Yeah,
so, where if you're, a kid just out of high school, you don't have those veteran benefits, but you do have the options to use the loans and the scholarships and grants and whatever else you can get.
Wow.
This is really beneficial because you see when we go down to Tampa to see Shannon on I-75, we see that flight school down there. So it's better for them to come to you because they'll get their degree and they will also help them with job placement then, right?
Well, not with job placement. The reason not because everybody wants to do something else. And you'll see a lot of schools, well, I'll guarantee you an interview. If you go to this flight school, I can guarantee you an interview. It doesn't mean you're going to get a job. So we avoid the placement. But like if somebody came to me and they wanted to be a flight instructor, you have a job with me as a flight instructor. Because if you train with me, I feel like you should have a job with me. And so as far as that way, I mean, if you, not to say that you get anybody gets a job, but if you do your training with me, then that means you should be a good pilot because you got your flight instructor. Flight instructors go through a very regimented training, so then you have that option for a job. The way that Liberty works, though, is if you're down in South Florida, you wouldn't be coming to me. What they do is they've done it very well, where they approved affiliated schools based on where location. So you don't have two in Ocala. You don't have one here and one in Dunellen. It's at least 50 miles away. So if they give you a circle so that somebody doesn't have to drive too far. So if you live in Tampa, you're going to have one that's in 50 miles of you to drive to. So you don't have to drive too far. Yep.
Brad, good to see you again. Give out the phone number and maybe the website so people can get a hold of you.
Okay, the phone number is 352-861-7484. And then the website is ocalaaviation.com.
Okay, simple as that. Call us if you need that repeated. Share this video. Somebody you know probably will just be excited to hear this news. Some young person probably wants to do this and they've wanted to do it forever and didn't realize you could do it here in Ocala.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, if there's any teachers, I'll throw this out there. Anybody that wants this, I'm going to start working with the schools, trying to get with them, having seminars, job fairs, or whatever. I want to get in with the schools to let the kids know this is an option for them.
So they can invite you to come give a talk?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you, Brad. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.